All right, I'm making a little tutorial video here to explain this Excel log that I made as another resource for logging training. I don't know what people are using, whether it's Strava, Garmin, or their own worksheet, but thought I'd put this together to help keep track of the summer training and beyond. And I think it's just a helpful tool to be able to look back on your training and really visualize it in a easy to understand manner. So it's at 3 sheets. We got mileage and the day-to-day, cross training and strength training and day-to-day, and then totals where formulas have been used to shoot all the numbers over to this sheet and they'll tally up as you log in the day-to-day. So you can disregard that, which I will change because that plus sign doesn't work. So the miles are broken down in AM miles and PM miles with AM minutes and PM minutes. And so you're going to put in, let's say this is the first day of training in the morning. We're just going to start off strong this summer, I guess. And we're going to go run 4 miles in the morning to 30 minutes and then 8 miles in the evening in an hour. And let's say that, you're getting back into running. So this is a rate of perceived exertion in this next column. And so that was a 6. It was a moderate activity for the day. That's going to show up in green, which corresponds to these numbers or levels here. How sore were you today? You haven't done jack shit, so there's 0. Then have any pain? 0, because if you have some pain, you shouldn't be running. And then comments here for that first day of training. And it's Monday, so you did Ferrati's A day, and you put the notes there. And you're going to say how much you deadlifted and all that jazz, which is explained right there. And then you didn't cross train today because you already doubled and lifted, which is probably too much on the first day rec running. But if you had decided to go for a bike ride, you would put bike here, total minutes. Let's say you bike for an hour because you're getting after it. And then this is just kind of up to you for the biking tallies there. So then let's say you did this every day for the first week. And there are your numbers. And let's say that they were all 6s until you kind of build up to a 7 there because you've been running 80 some miles your first week back. And then it's an 8 this day. You're like, all right, I'm getting a little tired there. How sore were you today? Just kind of build up throughout the week. And that last day you were a 6 out of 10 because you built up. And so anything above 5 is going to show up in red just because that's like, oh, you're feeling that day. And then strength training, let's say you did some rehab on Tuesday. You did your lift on Wednesday, and you front squatted 4 times 5, 40 kg, whatever else you want to put. And let's say on Thursday, I don't know, you swam for 30 minutes. So all of these numbers, these ones here are going to be just kind of for your visual on this day-to-day sheet. And then all the rest of these are going to come tally over to this total sheet. So you can see on this first week of Monday of May 30th, you ran 84 miles in 630 minutes, cross-trained 90 minutes, and you did 2.5 strength sessions. And that's a completely arbitrary number. You can decide what you want to put in here. If you want to have your main lifts be 1, full 1, core 0.5, and let's say some rehab 0.25, whatever you want there, that's completely up to you. But what this is going to, eventually show is you're going to see this buildup of mileage over the summer, and you're going to be able to see how it compares to the number of minutes that you're running. So it's like time on feet compared to mileage. And that's going to be helpful once you get back into workouts, because the amount of time you run is actually going to go down in relation to how much mileage you're running, because the intensity is going to go up. So it's just something to be aware of, which this allows you to do. Cross training course and then strength training, just to give you the full picture of what you were up to that week and where the training load is at. And then this our fifth column here is the competitions, which is just, the big ones are listed here, but once we know our schedule better, we know there's a lot more meets. So we'll let you guys fill that in as needed. And then the last thing I would say is, color code this sheet. These colors are arbitrary. I put that there, but you can do workouts and races in this, so it's not just numbers. Once we get back down here and you start racing, we're gonna be doing all sorts of things here. So let's go to, the week of Dellinger or something. We're gonna race that in the PM of probably this Thursday. What did we say? We said that's the race. So you can look out, you can list where your races are going to be from a ways out so that you see the progression over time. We know that we're going to be working out the Monday before that, because we always do 200s then, or whatever we end up doing. And let's say the week before, you worked out Friday and Tuesday again. So, you can see that progression where you're at leading up to Dellinger. And then it's also helpful because like after the race, we're going to be able to see that, shoot, you didn't work out again for 5 days. Which, maybe you were feeling the race and that is what it is. And you needed that break, or perhaps, you're like, all right, I'm looking towards the rest of the season. Like maybe this long run is a little bit of a moderate run, or whatever makes sense for you. And this is just a tool to keep track of that and color code it, and be aware of that, where your kind of total fatigue is at in the scale of, or in the scope of all your training. So obviously this is probably, I'm not sure if anyone's using anything like this, and there's probably going to be a lot of questions, which I'm going to be happy to answer. The one thing I would definitely say is, unless you're pretty experienced with Excel, do not mess with the spacing on any of these days, because all these formulas are set up, by the week. They're summed up, and if you adjust or insert any columns, that's going to throw all that off. So, if your mileages start adding up funky here, either I did something wrong in the sheet, or something's been moved around, and we will be able to sort that out, because Excel is awesome. All right, well, thanks guys, and happy training this summer.